Good morning. Mayor James Butts, City of Inglewood, and I have an update on the SoFi assault from last Sunday. Yesterday, Inglewood police officers traced the vehicle seen in the security video and made contact with the registered owner. They left contact information after indicating we were trying to locate an individual involved in a potential assault on Sunday at SoFi Stadium. Later that day, they were contacted by Cifuentes Rosel Brian Alexis, a resident of Los Angeles. Cifuentes was at his place of work in Montebello. Officers asked that he come to the Inglewood Police Department to be interviewed. He declined, but stated that he would talk to the officers in Montebello. Officers went to his location, and he voluntarily accompanied them to the Inglewood Police Department, where he received his Miranda admonition and was interviewed. After the interview, he was placed under arrest for 245A, subsection 4, assault by means to produce great bodily injury, a felony, and was booked at the Inglewood jail. He bonded out at 1 a.m. this morning on $30,000 bail. A case will be presented to the LA County District Attorney's Office for filing consideration. The victim is in stable condition. As of this briefing, his condition is not improved or degraded. And we're ready to take any questions you might have. Hold on, let's do this. You'll be first, you'll be second. Who wants to be third? You'll be third. One. I mean, that's all we know, is that he's still hospitalized and he's in a medically induced coma. Two. I don't have any criminal history information. It's Cifuentes, and I'll give you all a copy of this press release. Cifuentes. Alexis, Alexis. 33 years of age. We'll provide you the information. Three. We have no idea at this time. Yes. It appears that he did that, yes. That's a good question, but that's not for me to judge. That's for the district attorney's office to make take into account in their filing consideration. Ma'am, you were next. I can. It was the same it was as I said at yesterday's briefing. Mr. Luna was wearing a white jersey that some think was a throwback 49ers jersey, and the other individual, Mr. Alexis, was wearing a yellow, appeared to be a Rams jersey.
Will there be more arrests, sir?
Hold on one second. He waited, then I'll go to you.
Did the suspect claim self-defense when he's asked?
We wouldn't talk about his statement. We're going to file a case for the district attorney's office. We're not going to do anything that would jeopardize that filing.
My question is, will there be more people arrested and might Mr. Luna face charges for what happened in the altercation?
That would be up to the district attorney's office. We filed a case for 245 against Mr. Alexis, and they will look at the totality of the circumstances, and they will make their decision. From the video that I saw, which admittedly is only a minute and a half or what have you, it doesn't look like anyone else was involved. Anybody else before I go back? Go ahead.
Have you had a chance to, can you give us an update on Mr. Luna's condition? And can you tell us whether he has been interviewed by police?
We've been unable to interview him. As I said repeatedly, He's been in a medically induced coma. And as I said earlier, his condition has not improved or degraded. Yes, sir. I don't know what they were doing during the game. At the time of the video clip that I saw, they were standing around in the parking lot as a group. Okay, then we'll go 1, and then we'll go 2, and 3. 1. I don't know where that narrative comes from. There were other fans in that group, and at least one person in the short clip that I saw, which is only a minute and a half, bent down, tried to turn him on his side. So I don't know where that narrative comes from. Number 2. The game was already in progress. Yes.
Mayor, can you clarify, did anyone in that group call 911?
I don't know that there would have been time. A security guard came up very shortly after the altercation and called paramedics. So there wouldn't have been time. I don't know of any call to 911. I don't know there would have been time. Oh, no, we don't do it like that. So you waited. Now you'll be next, all right? First of all, the department wasn't late, and the opinion from the doctor was ascertained at a later time. It wasn't that there was a police officer at the hospital in the room listening to the doctor opine. That came as a result of the investigation. I don't have the timeline, sir. Go right ahead. It looked like a tailgate party to me. All right? Yes, sir. I would have no way of knowing that, and no one would until we receive the toxicology from the hospital. Yes, sir.
Do you have any concerns about security at SoFi Stadium based on what happened here? Do you think there's anything to worry about because this happened in this parking lot? With many people around, it's in pretty bad shape, right?
I don't think there's anything to worry about. The reality is that this was a one punch, one shove, two shove, one punch altercation. The greatest damage was done because he landed on the back of his head on the pavement. So I don't think this has any implications for safety. Go right ahead.
Have any witnesses come forward on their own to tell police what they saw, what they believe they saw?
I don't want to discuss the investigation. We don't want to taint anybody's recollections or views, and so we won't be discussing that. Yes, sir. Not at this time, sir. Not at this time, sir. Okay, and so go ahead, sir.
One more question, Mr. Mayor. Last night you described the scenario as the victim pushing the suspect pushing and then punching. Can you lay that out again? Is that how?
Here, I'm going to tell you the minute and a half or so video I saw. Crowd milling around, overwhelming number of people in red jerseys. There's an individual in a yellow jersey and an individual in a white jersey. The individual in the white jersey pushes the individual in the yellow jersey, and he falls over backward but doesn't fall to the ground. The individual in the yellow jersey pushes the individual in the white jersey and then strikes him once, it appears, in the face area. The individual in the white jersey falls backwards, hits his head on the pavement, doesn't move after that. We won't be discussing the suspect's statements that were made in the investigation. Yes, ma'am.
Have you been able to view video prior to that incident that may show how these people all came
No, we haven't. We don't believe anything else happened. If you look, if the video that I saw, it was a group of people, looked like they're tailgating, and then there was this incident. Looked like there was, I couldn't tell of any precursor to, what happened. Okay? And the last thing I want to do, I want to give our best wishes to the family. The chief has talked to the mother. She's very grateful that there's an arrest been made. I've called her myself, reached voicemail, and gave her just the best wishes to the city for her family and offered our assistance any way we can. Okay, thank you guys very much.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
All right.